Well, the deed is done. Now perhaps I can play something that doesn't have multiple godforsaken turrets and absolutely no armour. Maybe I should try playing the A30 Challenger again. That was always a lot. Oh, would you look at that? There's a message from my benefactor, Scarm. My boyo, check warthunder. Seems harmless enough. Let's go have a look. Oh, for fuck's... The Nuremberg trials is a perfect example of what happens when Albert Speer is being an actual architect, instead of going about and cancelling every unlikely idea that the Reich's tank designers ever spat out, like the Führer's saliva when he's having a particularly friendly discussion about the Untermensch. And thus we are now blessed with a vehicle that is so ineffective its entire use was relegated to propaganda. The Nubahfahzoidberg is just about as painful to play as it is to pronounce, mostly due to the fact that it takes almost everything from the Independent and somehow manages to fuck it up even harder. In fact, it's almost like the Germans copied the Independent somehow. Nah, a British officer would never betray the secrets of such a war-winning weapon. Now, in regards to the speed of this section of the Atlantic Wall, it's about as mobile as a Bismarck after 1941. And in regards to protection, let's just say if a Norwegian with an anti-tank rifle can make you think twice, then what you have doesn't really fall under the classification of armour. In fact, the most protection that this vehicle has to offer is the Lieutenant sealed in the frontal Panzer I turret. The general layout of this vehicle is essentially what would happen if you take two Panzer Is and a 4, and you slam them together at the speed of the 9th Army's rush to Western Berlin during 1945. Anywho, I've gone on enough about why this vehicle is so terrible on Gestapo-approved paper. It's time to cut to the chase. I'd like to keep this review just as short as the Waffen-SS's track record of obeying the Geneva Convention. The one saving grace of Tirpitz here is the fact it possesses the armament of a battleship. Not only do you possess a 75mm gun with an outstanding 80mm of penetration, you also possess a coaxial 37mm with the exact same penetrative capability of a squeezy boy. With this in mind, you shouldn't try to engage anything at long range, unless you're as desperate as a panzer crewman when his transmission starts making funny noises. As trying to remember which distances for which gun will eventually lead you to have the accuracy of Hermann Göring's confidence in the Luftwaffe during the Dunkirk evacuations. The firepower of this vehicle seems to be offset by having less armour than the Belgium section of the Maginot Line, but it does serve as a respectably slow lumbering target at its own tier. However, as I have previously iterated, I rarely play vehicles at their own tier. Now, some of you may look at the Nubahfahzoidberg and think, this vehicle shouldn't stray anywhere away from its VR bracket in any circumstances. And to that I humbly agree. I think it's about time I stopped dicking about and actually played the game the way it was meant to be played. Nah, I'm just messing with you. It wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't attempt to take this thing up to a high BR. Oh, we killed each other.
Oh, nice.
And with that, I'll call it a day. Thank goodness I didn't agree to review any other multi-turreted vehicles. I suppose now I can play some low-tier vehicles in their proper BR. I haven't tried the Japanese in quite a while. Could be fun. Right, let's go have a check. Don't remember this one being here. Well, isn't this fucking wonderful?